Hey Italian car fans, so today we have a couple rare models. I think they're pretty rare because they don't come up on eBay very often. They're by a brand called Yow Modellini and they're called the LaFesta Mille cars. And so what we have is this blue one, this OSCA MT4, and let's take a look here. This case, I obviously got these used. These are part of someone's personal collection because the cases are all scratched up and stuff. But I've been, I have a search on eBay for the past 5 months and they rarely come up for sale. So on March 26th, I did a video actually of damaged one of these where it had no windshield or steering wheel and I restored it. If you want to check that out, I talk about this car a lot because it's the predecessor of the Shelby Cobra. So I'm not going to look into this too much, but obviously there's some giant paint bubbling going on. But we'll compare it to the restoration car. It's really this car I want to talk about here today. So let me get the camera down and unscrew this from the base here. This car was actually weathered. Whoever owned this model before me took a bunch of weathering pastels and covered the whole thing in brown. I don't know why, but luckily it wasn't paint because I managed to get a Q-tip and get most of it out, although you'll see here in the vent, I think that black is actually paint because no Q-tips getting that out. But you can see a little bit of brown in the body crevices. Maybe with a little more work I can get it out. But okay, well anyway, so I never knew about this car in real life. I'd never seen it or knew even what the car company was. It's called OSCA, which is Italian, an acronym for, I don't know Italian, by the way, guys, but it's Officine Specializzate Costruzione Automobili. That's what I'm guessing. But anyway, so it's a OSCA. And this is a car company that was established in Bologna, Italy. That's where Ducati is, by the way. And it was established by the Maserati brothers, 3 Maserati brothers. They left Maserati after a 10-year contract and started this company of their own. But it didn't do all too well because they closed it down in 1967. So it's gone. So this is their first car that OSCA came out with. It's called the MT4. And the MT4 stands for Maserati Tipo 4 Cilindri. So 4-cylinder, I imagine. It's a 1.5 liter and it makes around 100 horsepower. And this car was raced by a bunch of various privateers, including Sterling Moss, I think. It raced in Le Mans, 12 Hours of Sebring. I think it won the 12 Hours of Sebring one year. And then it even entered Formula 1 and Formula 2 races, and also the World Sports Car Championship. So, okay, so that's the stats I found out about this car. Let's actually look at the model itself. Unfortunately, I can't angle my camera down any further, so it's really dark here. You'll notice this undercut of the body is really carving in, which is quite interesting in its styling, but it's actually kind of hard to see. But yeah, we got some side vents here and those are molded in. The wire wheels are pretty bad, but I'm not sure how you could make better wire wheels when this model probably wasn't very expensive when new. Just looking at the packaging, I imagine this model is less than 10 bucks per model. I don't know when this model set came out either, but I do know there's some YouTube videos on it, so you can just look up LaFesta car models or something on YouTube. Alright, well here in the back it's pretty simple. These are supposed to be some red tail lights, although they look black to me. They don't look red at all. These look kind of red, although these are supposed to be white when I look at the real car. So I don't know. I'm not sure if at least these 2 red things look like they could have been painted by the previous owner. I'm not sure if it came like that from the factory. But these are so perfectly done, I don't think these are painted. I think they just came black from the model car company. Anyways, this is a chrome fuel filler cap. And then this side we notice that we have a chrome door handle. And then I managed to get most of the weathering out of that panel better. But yeah, you'll see a little black here. I think the person used like a black Sharpie or something. Okay, so yeah, the front end is really quite distinctive. It's different. kind of ugly actually. But we got some plastic headlights, which are pretty cool. The molded in grille and the black filling in the squares, so that's pretty nice. Decent panel width gap, but you'll see this orange peel. So now what's nice is the interior. It's well, at least it's a different color. I'm not sure if it's actually nice, because what was this weird central channel going, and then it's like going into like the seats is really weird. There's like a cutout there for a leg maybe. It's obviously the paint is chipped there as well. This is riveted together, so it came like that from the factory. I just don't know why it would have such a large central channel. I guess the real car must have. But look at the seat cushions, they're so narrow. Interesting. And is that a steering wheel? Yeah, it's barely a steering wheel because it's literally a cylinder extruded out and there's no air behind it. But okay, all right. And then yeah, there's just so much distortion in these windows that from the side it's hard to tell. It would be nice if there was silver paint there, because that's what it looks like on the real car. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, it's a mediocre model, I would say. It's I would say in line with like a Dido, maybe possibly a Konami. No, I think even Konamis are better than this. I would say this is like a Dido quality, but it's just such a obscure car that I'd never known about that I figured I'd pick it up. You know, I do like the styling of this car. It's just the actual execution of the model isn't particularly awesome. Okay, well anyways, let's pull out the Spin Master and you can compare it to the photos that I pulled up of the real car. And actually it's in the same color too, so alright, so while that spins, so this is the restoration car I did back on March 26th of 2021, if you want to learn about that one. And then I'm going to pull this black car off the base while these two are spinning, and you can compare to the photos. Okay, so yeah, the black car here, we got some painted taillights, painted bumpers, and honestly, the painted bumpers are just as rough as what I did. They're not clear coated. But this one actually has a normal looking steering wheel, although it's actually not accurate to the real car, because the one I 3D printed is actually accurate to the real car. And then yeah, the wheels, again, the spokes don't look particularly great because there's no black filling in the gaps. But the front end, it's alright. Big headlights, I like that. And the grille on this one's pretty nice. Alright. So if you're curious about that, little exhaust tips down there. Thin tires. So now let's just put all three. Okay, so I think they're interesting parts of history. You know, the AC Ace became the Shelby Cobra, so that's nice. And then I never knew about OSCA and the fact that it was established by the three Maserati brothers. So quite an interesting piece of Italian history there. Alright, I guess that's it for today, so arrivederci.